Oh, no, that must be the one I had the last time.
Yeah.
Maybe spoke too soon. This one looks a little crooked.
Okay. Good afternoon. We'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. Before we get started, let me read through our role as a board and kind of the order of the meeting today, and we'll try to keep it as relaxed as we can. We're the 2025 Board of Equalization and Review for Union County, and we have been appointed by the county commissioners to hear all taxpayers with respect to concerns/complaints regarding the valuation of their property for tax purposes. Property owners appearing before the Board of Equalization and Review have a right to a fair and equitable hearing. The Board of Equalization and Review has been charged with ensuring that the proper legal principles have been applied in a valuation dispute for tax purposes. So kind of the order of the meeting, each appellant will come to the podium here at the mic, and there'll be a book there. You've got the same book that we do with tabs in it, and if we get to referring to page numbers, the numbers are usually in red at the bottom center. Before you get started, the county will come forward and they'll locate the property on the monitor so we're all looking at a visual of the property. Following that, you'll just step to the mic and present your information to the board. Typically give you about 10 minutes. It gets to be about 8 minutes. The clerk to my right, she'll give you a 2-minute warning. So after you finish, members of the board will have a chance to ask questions of you. You'll then have a seat. The county will come forward. They'll do the same. They'll present their information. We'll have a chance to ask them questions. And following that, each party will then have a chance for up to a 5-minute rebuttal if you'd like. Would keep in mind that the meeting is being recorded, and if you have any sales data to present, that sales data needs to be as of 1/1/25 or before, since the effective date of the property reevaluation for the county is 1/1/25. So if you've got sales data for March, April, May of 2025, we cannot use it. It's got to be prior to 1/1/25. After we hear all the cases today, then we'll go into the deliberation phase of the hearing. You're welcome to stay for that. We typically do not take any questions during the deliberation phase in case we have both parties present. Any and all questions need to be directed to me as chairman. After deliberations are finished and the meeting's finished today, typically the county will notify you in writing within 30 days of the board's decision. By statute, the burden of proof is on the taxpayer to demonstrate that the assessment is erroneous. Only individual taxpayers or licensed residential or certified real estate appraisers licensed to do business in North Carolina may express an opinion of value of real property. No other persons, whether attorneys in fact, attorneys at law, or corporate representatives, are entitled to express an opinion of value of real property. So with that, before we get started, are there any questions? Okay, if not, if I could ask everybody to maybe silence your phones, and we'll get started.
All right, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
All right, we have 2 personal property appeals today, so we're gonna go ahead and start with those 2, if it's okay.
Okay.
That is gonna start with hearing number 9. This is gonna be a request to waive the late list penalty.
Okay.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you. Hearing number 9, Advanced Digital Textiles. They were audited by TMA, our third-party audit vendor, and they would like to waive the late list penalty. They would like to request waiver of the late list penalty, stating due to a clerical oversight, listings were not regularly reconciled to account for additions and disposals. As of August 7th, they were searching for an employee whose responsibility will include maintaining an accurate fixed asset list. This is their first request for a waiver. The underpayment was not willful or fraudulent. but the result of a transition in their accounting software. They've since implemented dual review controls to prevent any recurrence. They are asking for a one-time waiver of a late list penalty totaling $10,242.22.
Okay. Questions from the board? Mr. Smith?
Have they paid or on track to pay the back portions already, not the penalties, but the actual tax due?
They've made a payment of $5,585. That was their regular annual billing. They technically do have until January 5th to make payment for the balance, which was $23,683.62.
That was my question.
How late were they? How late were they, or was it just something that came up with the
This was from the audit. This came from the audit. It went back to 2020.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Mr. Benson?
Well, she indicated that there was no malicious intent. It was caught in an audit, so obviously they got good enough auditors that they found it, and it wasn't nobody trying to hide. And they paid $5,000 already. So are they pretty much on point from your perspective to pay the balance?
I believe so.
Okay, so I'm good, Mr. Chairman.
So, year after year, I mean, the payment of the personal property taxes have been prompt. There hadn't been any issues there. All this resulted from an audit. It sounded like to me where they were disposing of some assets, maybe brought some other ones
Right.
in, and,
That's correct. They
Yeah.
weren't keeping track of their
right,
additions and disposals.
okay.
For prior years, the annual billing, 2020 and 2022, they did list late, but they did submit a listing. So they had a late listing penalty. I'm sorry, they had a late listing penalty for 2020 and 2022. But that was paid with their tax payment.
Okay. I don't have any other questions, y'all. Everybody
We'll take care
good?
of it in Deliberation, I guess.
Yeah, and we'll take care of it in deliberations and have further discussion about it.
Thank you.
Thank you very, very much, Ms. Harrison.
All right, hearing number 10 is going to be for property key number 606123. This is for Carolina Construction Equipment LLC, also the request to waive late list penalties.
The customer is not present today, but they stated that the significant impact that recent tariffs have had on their business and the resulting financial strain this year, the company is experiencing a down year financially. So they're requesting to have the late listing penalties removed or reduced. This is the result of an audit from 2025. The late listing penalties total $12,684.32. The customer has made a payment. Right now, their balance, the unpaid balance is $14,910.97. That would include, the payment that they made included their entire 2025 tax bill. Prior years, they have had a late listing penalty each year from 2021 through 2024. They did list timely in 2025, however.
So tell me again, they listed late in what years?
2021 through 2024. This particular customer has never been audited before, so this was their first audit with Union County through Tax Management Associates.
Okay,
This is their first time requesting a late listing penalty waiver as well.
okay. Questions for the county? Mr. O'Keefe,
No questions, thanks.
Mr. Benson?
This one doesn't seem to be exactly like the other one. It seemed like there's been some habits in the past, one could say, so. But did I hear you say their remaining balance is 14,000?
The current balance is $14,910, which includes $12,684.32 of the late listing penalty.
The latest, okay. All right. And how much was that payment that they did make?
Can you pull that up?
They paid $51,542.84.
51,000.
That's
For-
correct. The total amount due was $66,453.81.
For what year?
That would have been for 2025, but it encumbers all of these years
Right.
for the audit.
Okay.
Oh, so the
For the
audit
discovery.
went back and got all the late from each year.
Yeah.
Say that once more?
The audit captured all the lateness from each of the years.
Yes,
Okay.
they had discovered value from the tax years 2020 through 2025.
Okay. And what was that total again, 51?
The amount that they paid was $51,542.84.
Thank you.
Yes.
That's it for me, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Smith?
So all the underreported has been paid effectively?
Effectively, yes.
Yeah.
They still would have a balance difference of a little over $2,200.
Yeah, and what is the $222 for 25? If they filed on time, why do we have or is that?
Because we did a
interest
discovery, there was a residual discovery for tax year 2025 based on the previous years.
Okay, that answers that question. Thank you.
My pleasure.
What, I'm still trying to understand their explanation for why it happened.
Honestly, they didn't address
They
it
didn't.
in the
Yeah.
letter, and the letter was written by the CPA, so it wasn't written by the actual customer. They just stated that the company is experiencing a financial strain, and it's a down year for them due to recent tariffs.
It doesn't really explain the prior year.
That doesn't explain the reason why.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Harrison.
My pleasure.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Hearing number one, I'm just going to make mention of, is for property key number 06057012. This was a last minute, it's gonna be on your addendum A. It was a last minute agreement between the tax office and the taxpayer, so we'll address that when we go to the addendum A, so we're not gonna actually hear that one today.
Right, okay.
We'll go to hearing number two, which is for property key number 07150001S. This is gonna be for Giolina Gerlo. Gerlo. All right, and she is present today.
Okay.
Good evening, guys.
Good
How
evening.
we doing, man? Good afternoon.
All right. This is an unplatted parcel in Weddington, just off Potter Road. You can look on page 9 to get a location map. It's going to be south of Fincher Road and north of Waxhaw Indian Trail Road.
Is that gonna be close to the shopping center? Yeah, that's south of it, I think.
Yeah. Here's where Forest
didn't-
Loan comes in.
Yeah.
Oh, it's in between,
Nelson Road, close to Nelson Road.
Yeah.
You familiar with that?
Yeah,
over at Wellington Woods, whatever number it is.
Yeah.
oh, okay, right,
All right.
okay.
Zoom in here.
Okay. Thank you.
Hello.
Good afternoon, Miss,
Hi.
is it Gerlov?
Gerlov.
Gerlov, okay, all right.
Yes, I don't think my house is worth that much. It's built in 1982, I think. And it's 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom. And I have some papers where houses, you know, even the next door, not the one that was just built, but next to it, has same square footage. His house was like 155,000. My house last year was, my dad signed that over to me. I think he paid, it was like 190,000. And you guys, I received a letter saying my house is worth 362,000. And there's no way.
Yeah,
And I have some paper saying, more square footage, better house. I mean, looks like some of the little bit better houses, for, 296,000. On 1024, house was sold for 136,000. And, like houses for sale nearby too, they're not even close what, mine is 1392, mine is 1,176 square foot, and this one is 1,392 square foot, and it's 295,000. And another one nearby it, like 255,000, more square footage. And, I mean, mine is, 1,176 square foot. It's just
Right.
raggedy house.
Okay. Let me see if members of the board have any questions for you. Okay, Mrs. Gerloff?
Okay.
Mr. Smith?
Has the house been updated at all since
No.
it's been built? So it's an original 1981 or whatever condition?
82.
Yeah, make sure you're speaking into the mic,
Yes.
too. Okay.
Me too, I'm sorry.
And you can bend it back some if you need to.
Okay.
Yeah. And the access, is that a private road or dirt road, or how is the access to the house? I see you come off Potter Road, what is that?
And you turn left, and it's just a road, dirt road.
Dirt road? Okay. So it's basically all built out, but not technically a subdivision? There's
It's not a subdivision.
It's not a true subdivision. That's what the problem is in this one. Thank you.
Okay. Mr. O'Keefe?
Yes, just on those houses, were you referring to the comps that you were given to come to the value? Or you were
I just
mentioning a
looked-
couple of houses that I was looking for where they are in here, and I can't find them.
There's one, like, when they were sold around it, or, what was your question?
You mentioned one that was sold for, I think it was 296,000. I forget, I was trying to write it down. Like,
Oh,
you
okay.
mentioned 2 or 3 houses.
290
Are they in the packet, or are they just there in front of you? Can I look at them?
I took some, I printed them out. I
From
can-
this year, like that 1024 sale, is that from
1024,
2025?
24, yeah, sold on 1024, that's 136,000, and it has more bedrooms, 2 bathrooms.
Was that one of the comps that the county provided?
No, they provided different ones. So it's like basically pick and choose.
To add on what Mr. O'Keefe is saying, where is that house? The one you,
Yeah.
Is it close by?
4412 Parkwood School Road, Monroe, North Carolina.
okay, so that's a pretty good ways
Parkwood
from.
School, that's
Yeah.
20 minutes from you.
But,
30?
and around my area, the houses are,
A lot
what's
bigger.
that?
They're a lot bigger.
Yeah, it's right in the sweet spot.
Well, but hers is a little one
No, I know.
surrounded by neighborhoods that are. way
That's why I'm
different.
trying to get different.
Yeah.
Matthews, I'm looking at some that are for sale right now.
No, that's
one
not
is-
going to help.
Yeah, so.
Like, we got to have stuff from last year or before.
Okay, so I have, this one, let's see. I don't know how it's this one. I don't have a date when it was sold. Waxahachie Indian Trail, 3316. That was, I just printed them out in Zillow next, around, see how much the houses are worth right now.
Yeah, okay.
Like, the one that was next to me, he's kind of like same square footage and all that.
We'll take a look at that. I
155,000.
made a note of that one, that we'll take a look at that one next door, and, from an equity standpoint. Mr. O'Keefe, you have any other
That's
questions?
it, thank you.
This one, the 296,000, it was
This-
sold on 3/14/24 by Waxaw, so it's kind of nearby.
Okay,
And this one is 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 1,188 square foot.
did you submit those to the county?
I think I submitted some. I'm not sure on if I submitted this one.
Yeah. Because basically, I mean, whatever you present, I mean, needs to have been presented to the county as well before the meeting, because they haven't had a chance to look at it.
Oh, okay, got it.
Because, I mean, you could possibly have some good information there, but they haven't had a chance to look at it. And
I provided some that my house is not worth 362,000.
yeah. I think the main thing we might want to look at is your neighboring property, okay? Let me see if Mr. Benson has any questions. Mr. Benson, do you have any questions for Mrs. Gerloff?
I just want to make sure, and then I'm wrapping my head around your actual disagreement. And your disagreement stems around that it's an older home and not worthy of the new assessment.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Let us hear from the county, and then after we hear from them, you'll have a chance for a rebuttal too. And let us hear from them and maybe ask a couple of questions from the county, okay?
Okay.
Thank you, Ms. Gerloff.
Do I
Okay.
sit down?
Mr. Chair,
Hold on.
sorry.
Okay, so go ahead, sorry.
Go ahead.
Mr. Chairman, can I get that address on that parcel you're wanting to look at next door?
Yeah. The one next door, Ms. Gerloff,
I think it's 7010 Potter Road.
Potter?
7010 Potter Road. And so with that, Ms. Gerloff, if you would have a seat for a little bit, we'll have the county present their information. And then if you have some additional comments after they present, I'll have you come back up.
Okay.
Okay? All right?
All right. Yeah, this probably, we didn't have a lot of information submitted to look at. She did submit on page 34. Look at that. And we did get that screenshot sent in. And I looked that up. That is a house, it's not in Weddington. It's actually in Porter Ridge. It's a 1973 year built on 0.29 acres. And it sold for $352,500. You know, like I said, probably not one we would have used as a comparable. But originally, the appraiser had sent some comps out, and you can find those on page 28. And it returned a very similar value. It came in at $363,300, which, you know, is right there at our original value. So there was no change made initially. I reviewed it again, and when I looked at, you know, the quality we had on the garage, I felt it was high. So I did lower the grading of the detached garage, and we had a utility shed listed that I think has been removed, so I removed that from there. And just, you know, after I updated, I ran those same comps again, and it did come back at $346,600. So, you know, that was, you know, close, you know, 4.5% decrease, so we did do that. You know, looking at the comps, you know, you could, it's unplatted, Weddington, you know, 1 acre of land's $231,000.
Yeah, that's the problem, right there.
For an acre. You're not gonna find a 1981 Fair Plus house that's sold. The closest, we did have several average minus homes, and you can look at comps 2 and comp 3, comp 4. Those are in Weddington, and you can see the adjusted values on there. Comp 1 is outside of Weddington, and it was, like I said, it was used initially, so I left it in there. But if you stay solely in Weddington, we're actually well below market.
Yeah, so it's land.
land. Yeah, 1 acre of unplatted land is valued at $231,000. We've seen several of those
Yeah.
this year. And so, with a home and detached garage, and it's,
Right.
that's where the bulk of the value is. It's a prime location. I think this was originally a larger parcel, and it had been split and a new home built on it.
Right. Okay. Just curious, have you carried this one from the beginning, or you?
No,
I didn't think-
No, we're on cleanup duty.
Right, okay. I reckon I'm just curious if that was maybe explained to Ms. Gerloff, so
Well,
she'd have a better understanding.
Right,
Yeah.
right. I did send this updated value to her in an email.
Right.
And she felt like that was still too high.
Right.
And like I said, it's the bulk of the land. I mean, you got roughly $130,000 on a house and a detached garage.
Okay. Questions for the county, Mr. O'Keefe,
No questions,
Yeah.
thanks.
Mr. Benson?
So if you basically took the land, you said 230, right?
231 for 1
Okay,
acre.
231, and even if you added the value that was listed from the taxpayer, you looking at 420, and then you minus all the stuff, you get the 430. You pretty much the 130. You pretty right at what you assessed it at the 346. So this is just a situation where that area, the land has simply become more valuable than it was when she bought the home.
Right, and I did, like I say, I didn't start this appeal, but I did use the comps that were originally used, for the taxpayers' benefit. I did run one independently myself and stayed solely in Weddington, and the adjusted value on that one come back at $455,300, which is kind of in line with comps, 2, 3, and 4.
Okay. Mr. Smith?
Where I have the problem here, this is a philosophical problem, okay?
Yeah.
Unplatted Weddington, when you're in a developed area, you know what I'm saying? It's all developed. It's not a true neighborhood. And if it was right across the street over in whatever the next neighborhood over is, it'd probably have $150,000 land value. Typically, that's about what they all ended up being assigned in most of these places. But because it's not a named subdivision and platted, she gets hit with as if it's raw land. And if you have raw land, you'd have to remove the house. It's kind of like, how do you do both ways? Because this is a little old house on what would be a nice piece of property if the house wasn't there.
Right.
But you're trying to put the value of the land as if it was empty with the value of the house on top of it, and that's where this thing gets disconnected. And if it was in a subdivision, it would probably be, I don't know, $100,000 less than this.
Well, and unfortunately, we don't have any subdivisions, that.
Well, this is not a subdivision,
Yeah.
I understand, but you go right up the road or right across the street, and there's plenty of them.
Right. And a lot of times the land values in subdivisions is used from allocation of this.
It's an allocation, and
Yeah.
because this isn't a true, even though it's developed and been finished out, and I guess the question we're gonna have is, what is the value of the next two houses, next to Potter Road?
I think we look at that in deliberations. I made that note too, yeah.
Because it just doesn't, I have a problem.
Yeah.
And he may.
I have the information for address 7010 Potter Road. And what are your questions related to it exactly?
Which one is 7010?
The one next door, or the one right on the
Is
corner?
it this one right here?
Well, I don't know that she was absolutely sure. She was thinking that was the address, was 7010 Potter Road.
Well, technically.
This one?
Okay.
So what we have here on 7010 Potter Road is a substandard in poor condition, built 1984. And it is 1,176 square feet. And we have a total value of $158,700 on it. Due to, we have the lowest quality we could put on a house, and it's in poor condition.
What was that value?
$158,700.
What's the land value on it?
The land value, so they're sitting on
Less than an acre.
0.6 acres.
Yeah.
And we have 140,900.
And if that house was moved, I'm not sure if it would meet zoning requirements.
And for reference, just one of the note I'd like to make is the subject property, just for reference, was purchased in 2018 for $330,000.
Say that again now?
In 2018.
2018.
How much the market has appreciated, it was purchased for $330,000.
I haven't got another question.
The
from
subject
taxpayer.
property.
Yeah, yeah,
This thing's on the,
yeah.
Like I say, I believe that parcel was divided, and this house was built, once it was built, let's see if we can go back. Yeah, it was originally, the parcel was larger and it was subdivided and the new home built there.
now, from this property or from the property on the corner?
From the subject property.
Okay.
Let me make sure I understand that again, so run that by me again, Mr. Alman.
The subject property was originally a larger parcel, and it was split into two parcels, and then this home was built on it.
Okay, so that was back in 80.
Sometime after 2019, yeah,
No, wait, okay,
It was in 2012.
2012.
2012, okay. Okay. Any other questions for the county on this one?
I do have one question. If I look to the left of this, is that a subdivision?
It looks like it comes directly off
Or is that
Potter.
just two houses?
Yeah,
And
those-
not a, or is it part of a subdivision? I have no idea. I'm just asking.
That'd be a pretty big hook for
Gin
I
Place.
think the two of the road are individual properties.
Yeah,
individual.
it's such, it's not a real,
It's a subdivision.
you know,
Subdivision's behind it.
Yeah, subdivision's behind, yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, I think from the map, you can see what this was way back at one time with that kind of triangle-shaped piece of land
Right.
that's been broke up.
So, Mr. Chairman, 2018, the subject property sold for $330,000. Thank you.
With the adjacent lot.
No, sir.
He said the subject
The
property,
acres- The acres were split in 2012.
in
Oh,
2012.
it was split in 2012. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I thought I heard the other way.
No, thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Alman.
Thank
Everybody good?
Yep.
Okay. Ms. Gerlov, do you have any final comments? I would like to ask you one more question. Okay. Did you mention earlier that you inherited the home, or did?
Yes, my dad bought that whole, his house over there, 2 acres, and then the other house next door, and then my house, and then, my sister house.
Okay, who bought the house in 2018?
Which house? My house?
Yes.
Where I'm living at
Because
now?
what I'm understanding from the county, the house was purchased in 2018.
He paid for it after he sold his other house, and he just paid it off.
So
That was
he-
all.
He
his
purchased that property, that particular property in 2018 for $330,000, though. That's what I understand from the county.
I know that there was my sisters, 3 sisters and my dad and his wife, they bought this whole land from the guy that's living on 7010 Potter Road.
Okay, so he owned it all, and your dad purchased several parcels at one time?
The whole part, yeah.
Right, okay. Okay. Do you have any additional comments you'd like to make? And of course, this has generated a lot of questions, I think, as you can tell, so, but do you have any additional comments you'd like to make?
That, you know, it's just because, I mean, my house does not look what you know.
I got you
I'm
on that.
paying, yeah.
Yeah, I got you on that, okay. Well,
And I'm a
thank-
single mom, so.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. Thank you, appreciate you coming today,
Well,
okay?
thank you.
Uh-huh,
That's it.
that's it, yeah.
All right. We'll move to hearing number 3. This is going to be for property fee number 08321003B. The taxpayer is Kyra and Kent Gunn, and Mrs. Gunn is here today.
That's an interesting shape.
It is, it is
How
that.
do we see shape on this one?
Yeah, it does have some shape.
Yeah.
You can look on the location map on page 9 and give you a good location. You actually, you'll take, and pull out here a little bit. You actually wind up going out of the county into Mecklenburg County, I believe, to access this property on Allen Black Road off of Lawyers Road.
Yep.
And then if you come up, you can make a right on McGregor and.
No, sir.
No, I'm sorry. That's not right. Field Large.
A right onto Union Road.
Union Road? Okay. Sorry, I was trying to look at the map to see how the access
Yeah.
was.
Where is Union?
Union is past that.
Oh,
Let me show you.
yeah, you might can explain better.
So
what
this
it's
is
on.
coming up to 18, right?
So if we're going up Allen Black, you gotta keep going.
Okay.
Here is past Field Lark,
Go
keep
back.
going,
Okay.
keep
Oh,
going, keep
come
going.
around.
So we're there.
Okay.
So there's Union Road, and then from here down is a shared driveway that we maintain.
Okay, I'm sorry, I thought there was access coming out right through here. But yeah,
Driveway.
We've got
it's,
6 of a mile to road access.
okay. So it is right there on the edge of the county.
Okay,
And this is unplatted in Porter Ridge School District.
That is is that a home or a barn, or what's that?
No structures on this, it's a land
That's on
only.
the adjacent
Well,
property that's been cut out, it looks like.
Oh, I see it now. It goes around that. Okay.
okay.
Must be a stream.
Okay, Ms. Gunn,
Good afternoon.
good afternoon. Okay.
Thank you for your time. I'm nervous as I can be.
Don't be.
Yeah, be relaxed.
I'm not exactly sure, do I need to go back over the original things that I submitted, or have you all read those
I
documents?
think we will go through that, but if you could summarize it, you're welcome to read it.
Okay,
or you
I'll
could-
just do a quick summary
Yeah,
then, if
that's
that's
fine,
okay.
just hitting the main points. But-
You know, my initial contention that it is not worth very much money, though I love land,
Yeah.
is because of the obviously unusual shape, which makes it very hard to build, use for agriculture, anything. It also is one of those special properties that has the hill splitter issue. So for 1,000 feet, the entirety down the entire left side, that blue line that you see there follows a wet weather branch, and which has a 100-foot buffer that has to be maintained, where nothing can be, you can't do anything with that land, not even clear it, because of the fun little muscle we've got.
Okay.
Another issue with it is obviously there's no it doesn't have road frontage, and there's the long gravel drive to get to it with 2 culverts, and we help maintain that. There is a driveway that actually splits the property now. So in order to get to that little house that you can see on the adjacent property, there's a driveway through our property, which makes that also a lot of more unusable land there. There's no city water, there's no sewer, or any amenities like that there. It's undeveloped land. Now, directly behind our property, so where you see the two funny little legs there,
Yeah.
at the end of those, the property that's adjacent to that is 083210002, which is a 16-acre parcel, 16.9 acre parcel. The current tax valuation on that parcel is $281,600, which works out to $16,761 per acre, which is right there with my property. But my property right now is valued at $23,814 per acre. Did I go too fast?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm trying to, and we'll get clarification from the county when they come up and map it, but the 16-acre parcel you were talking about, that's not the one with the house on it.
No, sir.
It's that forest.
It's in the.
It's the forest behind it.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
okay.
And then,
So it's part of that big wooded area?
yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. But if you think about it, ours is also part of that big wooded area.
Right.
So it's the same sort of land, but without some of the same limitations that ours has. That property actually has frontage joined to another property through Chanel Drive. So, they don't have as many limitations as us, and they're being charged, they're, being valued much less per acre than we are. There are other adjoining acreages out there in the forest. There's actually 6 parcels that are owned by a company called Kunkelman, and I believe they're out of Cornelius. And if you add up the current valuations for those, that is $1,688,870 worth of combined property that Kunkelman owns. Their current tax liability per year for the 44 acres, 44.712 acres that they have joined is under $600, whereas my 4 acres is 700, let me get my right number, $715.59. So it just seemed, the little guy's just trying to keep their head above water, and the big guy's getting it all.
And we had something come up like this about a week or two ago, and I don't know that this is the case on this one. Does Kunkelman own the wooded area?
A lot of the wooded area. They don't own the entire wooded area. There's 2 plots that are owned by an individual that has a home on Chanel Drive.
Because they could be, I'm not sure, it could be in the use value program where they're for trees, if they're in a federal tree
Well,
program.
some of it is farm, but some of it is also, it says 11 residential for some of their parcels.
It just makes me think with that difference in taxes, and we don't deal with taxes, we're trying to just deal with
I
value.
see valuation.
Yeah,
But you can see from my point
but
of
I'm
view how
thinking
that stings.
Yeah, well, we had somebody bring that up not long ago, and it was simply because they were in the farm use value program.
But not all of the property is in
Right,
the farm
right,
use value
right. So,
program,
but go ahead, I just wanted.
I think those are my main contentions. In fact, can I just look through this for a second and make
Yes,
sure I didn't
yes.
miss anything?
You hadn't got your 2-minute warning yet, so.
Okay, so we talked about the perennial stream and the lack of ability to do anything there, the limited access, soil and septic unsuitability, and of course, the unusual shape and lot configuration.
Let me see if members of the board have any questions.
Yes, sir.
And then after the county, like I said, just like I told Mrs. Gerloff a minute ago, after they present, you're welcome to come back for a rebuttal.
If
you
I
hear
can-
some-
if I can
yeah.
stand it, I
Oh, you're
will.
fine, you did a good job. You did fine. Mr. Benchin, do you have any questions for Ms. Gunn?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I wrote a note. Typically, I don't ask this, but because of the unusual shaping of the property.
Yes, sir.
What is this land being used for, if you don't mind, or is it simply family land?
It is just my family land.
Okay, it's family
It is not
land.
being used for anything, not a thing.
Okay. Thank you so much. That was it for me, Mr.
Okay.
Chairman.
Mr. Smith?
The house that's in the odd shape at the bottom, was that broken off after y'all had this?
Yes, sir.
And who owns that? I'm just curious. Is it
Well, my
family?
husband had a little fence company, and one of his employees wanted to buy the little house, but didn't qualify for a loan for very much money,
Yeah.
and we financed to him and sold him the house in 1 acre, and he's happy as he can be living out there.
He had to have an acre to make it work for the,
Yes, sir.
understand. So that gives you a very, very odd shape.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
So until that was done, it wasn't
It was a triangle until
triangle.
then.
Yes, sir.
Right. Mr. O'Keefe?
And the driveway is permanently.
Right through the middle of it.
Right through the middle. There's an easement, something that documents that says this is, he's got in right to access in perpetuity or some strange language like that. He's got access to your lot. Let's say he moves out, somebody else different moves in there, and they want to drive up and down, you don't know them, but they're going to be able to do that, right?
I suppose so. That was probably not wise of us.
I'm just.
I don't know.
There's a permanent easement right at the middle of the property, we got it.
There, yes, sir.
Got it.
Yeah,
Thank you.
access easement has to be.
A question I have, I mean, if you go north, do you own any of the neighboring land going north?
No,
So
sir.
this is
No,
the
we
only-
live in Wingate.
Oh, okay, so
Yes,
this
sir.
is the only track you own?
Yes, sir.
In that general area, so you live in Wingate, okay, okay.
And I have no problem with the valuation of my home out there.
Okay, okay. Understood, understood.
Thank
All right, let us hear from the county,
Okay.
if you don't mind having a seat, and then if you have any final comments,
Thank
you
you.
can do that after the county presents. Okay.
I will try to keep it short and sweet. This property was appealed in 2021, a lot of these same conditions. And at that time, we tried to remedy them the best we could. If you'll turn to page 26, you can see our vacant land sales, kind of in that acreage range in the unplatted Porter Ridge area. In the median sales price for those size tracts has come in at $58,400. Currently, the subject's at $23,800 per acre. This is a 4.09 acre tract. We have 3.2338 of those 4.09 acres receiving reductions through influences. For the hill splitter and the buffer for the stream there, we put that 75% unbuildable influence on there, and that is applied to 1.9274 acres. And then, given the shape of these pieces in the back, we reduced 1.3064 acres by 50% for a shape adjustment. And that was set at the 2021 BER. And so those same influences are still on the land, it's just the land value's going up. This property, without influences would be valued at $175,900.
Okay. Questions for the county? Mr. O'Keefe?
I've got nothing right now.
Okay. Mr. Smith?
When you take out either the muscle and/or the shape, how much is truly left that you could build on this property?
0.8562 acres.
Because you have two legs of it are way off, then you got a thing like that. It becomes, if you go 100 foot off the creek, the ability to put something on it or even put a septic on it would be probably pretty plain difficult. I'm just looking because you got to move over 100 feet off that left side. I don't know how you'd utilize any of the other for septic or anything. I'm just trying to figure out how there's anything useful in this other than holding the dirt together of the world. Other than family value. Because where the house is that's on the adjacent property is the only place you could build anything. If you get down to it.
Right. Like I said, we have 0.8562 acres that are uninfluenced, but we have $78,500 worth of influences applied currently,
Yeah.
and that was what was set at the last board meeting in '21.
I understand that. I can have my issues.
Okay. Mr. Benson?
I think you got me already, Mr. Chair. Oh, no, you didn't. No, I don't have anything for the county.
Couple of things. The access part of it, was anything,
Nothing has been done as far as no access. I mean,
I know there's
think there is.
access, but it's tough access.
Limited access.
Well, yeah, it's,
Pictures of the road
yeah,
Yeah,
binder.
okay.
there should be some photos in there. Like I say, I think there is access. It just may not be a quality, smooth ride.
And just curious, what was the 2021 value? So it
The
went-
2021 value, and you can look on page 29, that's the subject property record card. It also has a good note of what was done in '21. It was reduced in '21 from 78,900 to 46,100. So 46,100 was the BR value in 2021, and that's the same value that it was until we revalued it this time in '25.
Okay. Anybody else got any questions?
Do you know if that access is deeded at all?
I do not know.
I guess,
I'd say it'd have to be for that house. Well, I don't know, they didn't.
You don't know.
They didn't do a
Out in the
mortgage.
country, you don't
They-
know.
They financed it, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody can come up, they knew not Joseph.
Yeah,
yeah.
we can ask Ms.
Yeah,
Gunn
we'll
that
ask
question.
her.
Okay.
She probably doesn't know either.
She might. Okay. Everybody good? Okay.
Yep.
Thank you, Mr. Alman.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I will add, just for information purposes for the board, the Kunkelman property that surrounds it, that was
Right.
mentioned, is all in PUV.
Okay.
She was referring to the zoning, and that's irrelevant from the standpoint of whether it's in the PUV program or not.
Right.
But because it still qualifies for PUV, the assessment and tax bill for that property is going to be significantly lower.
So it
than
is
PUV.
in the use value
It is in
program?
use value,
Okay.
yes.
Okay, so we can let her know that. Okay. Ms. Gunn, you can come forward and,
So even taking Kunkelman off the books, still there is property 083210002 that is valued at $16,761 per acre, whereas mine is valued at $23,814 per acre.
and I've got that to Mr. Smith's question about the right-of-way to the house. I mean, since y'all financed it, correct?
Yes.
For the property
We
owner?
we no longer hold the mortgage on it, but we initially financed
Yeah.
it for
Did
them.
you remember granting them a right-of-way?
I think so. I'm sorry, I don't
Right.
have a good answer for you.
I imagine,
We're
Yeah.
more handshake is my promise kind of people, I think.
I imagine the attorney, though, that worked with you made sure that they had that in place, but,
I can dig through some papers at home if you
That's
need
not
me to
net-
find
yeah.
something. Okay.
yeah. I think we were curious more than anything.
Yeah, my other point is, do you have, I guess, deeded access to your property from that?
From the main
Yeah.
road, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Any additional comments you'd like to make?
No, sir.
Okay. You did very well, both of
Thank
you did.
you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you
Okay.
very much.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes,
the tract she's mentioned, 08-321-02, 16.9 acres.
right.
It has minus 20% off on the land rate for topography and a minus 35% off for no perk on that tract.
Okay.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman,
It is okay for me to go.
Mr. Chairman, I just had one question for her.
Ms. Gunn,
Ms. Gunn.
Mr. Benson has called you back to the podium, okay? Did you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay.
You're just making me more nervous.
This is the way the chairman said it, but I acquiesced to my chairman.
Did you?
In 2021, were you the one that came before the board?
I didn't come before the board. I just filed an appeal, and it was granted
2020,
over the
okay.
phone. Yes,
Oh,
sir.
so this is
I didn't
your
have to
first
come
time
before the board.
coming?
Oh, yes, sir.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right,
I have to go pick somebody up from
go
work.
right
I'm
ahead.
sorry.
You're done.
so
Thank you
much.
very much.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. All right.
Next.
We will move on to hearing number 4. This is going to be for property number K 001E80. This is for Tournament Drive Investors LLC.
Oh, God.
This one was tabled on the October 6th meeting to allow the appellant 2 weeks to submit income information and tax returns for review. They are not present, but I believe they submitted some information to Mr. Hunter.
They're
You
not
have,
present.
some of that was given to you if you guys look at that.
This is Emerald Lake
Yeah.
Golf Club.
Yes.
Oh, I remember them.
Yep.
Yes, it's really basically the information we had before, but I kind of put it a little more summarized to help you make your determination. The income that they submitted begins on page 61 of your packet.
Joe, do you want me to call these all in together? Are you going to discuss them all as one?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so then I'm going to go ahead and call in for time purposes and to make it easy for reference.
Right, okay.
Also for hearing 5K 8312-001E90, also for Tournament Drive Investors LLC. And then hearing number 6, property key number D8312-001E, also for Tournament Drive Investors LLC.
I think we all know where it's located. We had gone through the information last time that showed what we had it appraised at, and I had found sales that were indicated that we were in line with what we had, because we were running with a cost approach. And we kind of compared it to what the other golf courses were being appraised at, and they submitted income, and I did not make an adjustment because the income on that page, you'll see the overall revenue for year-end 2022, 23, 24, and then part of 25, which is not really applicable. But looking at those numbers, when you look at the revenue and then you look at the net income, the expense ratios, even for a golf course, are substantially more than you would normally see. Normally on a golf course, you're going to have 60 to 80%, and they had in year end of 23, it's I think 85% expense ratio. In 2024, it's like 91.5% expense ratio. And at the bottom of the page, he talks about that they basically are just keeping their heads above water with the property. And while we're sympathetic to that, I did a little dive into using the mighty AI and looked at golf courses, because this golf course, they've appealed multiple times over the years, and we've looked at and we've made adjustments when the market was down in 2015, and then we had a PTC appeal. You'll see in your little summary there, and where that ended up. But according to AI, the golf industry has not merely returned to pre-pandemic levels, it has significantly surpassed them as experiencing a prolonged boom. Key metrics like participations, rounds played, and equipment sales are all running at record or near record highs, well above 2019 figures. We've seen a 38% increase in the number of participants that are playing golf from 2019 levels. And this is as of 2024 when we did a revaluation. So this is where we're going to kind of rely on the board to make an adjustment if they feel necessary, because we're not in a struggling market for golf courses. They're very strong. Somehow this one is struggling with their expenses, and it just doesn't make sense. We have the competitive golf courses that did not appeal that we're pretty much in line with the other golf courses or close to them. And so we just felt like that would be something, rather than we make any type of adjustment, that would be something that we would rely on the board to do. Like I say, based on the sales I had, based on every indication, I've looked at multiple sources about the golf industry, and the golf industry is strong. And so this would be an anomaly for it to be struggling like this when the other golf courses, and we looked at, with the sales, we also found, Firethorn sold in 2021. That's on your little second sheet, or the second sheet of your handout. The equity comparables. It shows where we are. We use $1 per hole that we look at. And like I say, we're $407,922 a hole. Old Sycamore is at $410 a hole. The Divide is $394,000 a hole. Rolling Hills at $447. And I also looked up, the ratings. I'm not a golfer, so maybe Dutch, you're a golfer, aren't you?
Yep.
Mike could help me
Yep.
out here. The ratings that I found for Emerald Lake, it was a championship rating of 71.2. Is that anything?
That gets into the difficulty.
Yeah,
Okay.
and the slope, 137. And I looked at Old Sycamore, Rolling Hills, the Divide, and they all have very similar course ratings and slope ratings.
It wouldn't have anything to do with the condition, it just gets into the
No,
difficulty.
but it would be
Yeah.
the quality of the course, I
Right,
guess, is
yeah.
what. So just from that standpoint, it seemed like we were pretty much in line with that. Now, I have not played the course. I don't know the condition of it. That's why I would lean on maybe
I mean,
people that golf would
yeah,
be able to
with
tell
Old
us.
Sycamore being that close, and I've played both of them, I mean, to me, the course for those two are similar. I mean,
Okay.
as far as condition and that kind of thing, so, and that's Old Sycamore and Emerald Lake are very close together. And those numbers per hole are very close as well.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And that's why we felt like we were in line as far as how we're treating everyone.
Right.
And,
The-
like I say, the numbers just didn't seem to add up as far as the excessive expenses. I know golf courses are very expensive to maintain,
Right.
but this is looks to be, from what I've seen, other income I've seen on other golf courses, it's extremely high.
I hate to jump in with questions, I'm just trying to, before I ask the board, but I just got some on the top of my mind here. The PTC, what did they do? I'm just curious.
We settled to avoid having the expense of going
Right.
to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And,
So it wasn't heard, it was not heard at the
Okay.
PTC.
And then their opinion of values at $3,780,000, what was did they provide
Well,
any
the-
good
the-
data for that, or?
The 3,780,000 was for one of the parcels. If you add them up in yellow there,
Right.
the total that we're looking at, they're wanting 4.2 million. That's
And,
what they're asking for, $233,000 a hole.
right. Did they provide, I mean, I hadn't looked at the information.
Yes,
here.
there's information, there's tax returns, there's,
Yeah, I see that,
Mhm.
but they didn't provide that to start with, so I'm
no,
curious if
they did not.
what their evidence was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
What got them to that number?
Yes, I know it, I couldn't make that number work.
Okay.
So I just,
Okay, so is it more, do you feel like it's more of an opinion, their
I
opinion?
think so. I
Right.
think so. I don't think they don't have an appraisal on it.
Right.
A lot of times, we've had other golf courses appeal that will submit an appraisal along with it, but we did not, we don't have that, so.
Okay,
But the 4.2, it's slightly more than what the PTC did for, or what we ended up having to settle for in '23.
in
I
20.
guess that's, a small increase from that. I don't know logic or reasoning or how it comes up to that. There was no, they didn't say, this is how we got there.
Right.
So, no.
Which one's that?
What's that?
I lost that whole conversation on the value of something else.
Well, I was looking at their opinion of value and trying on the agenda,
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
and trying
But
to,
which one got settled?
it was the same property that went to the PTC.
It's the same.
Was going to the PTC.
All three parcels looked at as one. So that yellow is what in 21, we were at 5,228,800. It went to BER, and the sitting board at that time ruled 5,228,800. We ended up settling at PTC for 3.9 million. And so I guess that's maybe where they want slightly more than what that was. But the 2023 would be based on a 2021 value. That would not be,
Yeah.
even though they didn't appeal it in 21 for whatever reason. I don't know why. But because they appealed it prior to that in 2015. I've dealt with this 3 times.
Right.
This is the
Yeah,
third go round.
Oh, yeah.
And you probably remember.
Oh, yeah, yeah. So it's gone from 3.9 million in 21 to 7.3 million.
To 7.3, right. We didn't want to put it at 3.9, but we felt like that was the most prudent thing to do.
So they're wanting 3.7. They're wanting below the 2021 number.
Well, they want 4.2 total.
Right, that's right.
Which is slightly.
Slightly more.
Slightly
I'm still
more.
looking at the larger parcel.
But
Okay.
still vastly below what everything else we have appraised for.
Okay. Questions for the county? Sorry I took up all that time.
No,
Mr.
that was
O'Keefe?
good.
No, thank you.
Okay, Mr. Smith?
And I'm just looking at this on page 32, it has number of holes, and I assume it's because some of the holes are in a different county, is how you got to the value. You know, like one has 5 holes.
Good
You know,
point.
I assume it's split across the
'Cause
county line,
those two do go into different counties.
like Divide,
Yes.
Firethorn, they're.
Right, that's why
That's
they-
just the number of holes.
That's the number of holes that we have in Union
Yeah,
County, and
that's right.
that's the value that we have
Yeah.
assigned to them.
Yeah, okay, I assumed that was the case, but I wanted to make sure.
No, that's
Right.
good.
So, and you're kind of really right between the Divide and Old Sycamore in value. is what
Correct.
you're pointing. Thank you.
Mr. Benson?
Yeah, I just been sitting here listening. This is the appeals where you and the gentleman went at it all day, right? Y'all had multiple cases that day.
We did.
Yeah, I remember that day.
It was
Yeah.
interesting.
Y'all battled pretty good that day. This is a lot. And you used the phrase, you couldn't get to that number. How close to the number did you think you could get?
Well, we haven't done cap rate studies, and the range of cap rates is anywhere from 7 to 12%. So if we went somewhere in the middle at 9.5, using a 80% expense ratio, which is absolute tops of what any golf course would run, that would run you around 5,950,400.
Thank you.
That's just in the middle, and I'm not saying that's what we are.
No,
or,
it just gives me
but
something to think
yeah,
about.
I couldn't come, and if you use their numbers, and you use the same, it's gonna come in less than what they've got. So,
No, that's,
yeah, like I say, it's, you want to be fair about it, but at the same time, if you're mismanaged, could someone come in and do better? Would they purchase it and say,
yeah, because
we've got these other courses that are performing, we could do that too.
because my concern is, my thought process is, you did a wonderful job outlining the industry. and how the industry is on a boom. And in the midst of this boom, you have this particular golf course in a well-defined county that's somehow not booming.
Right.
And it seems as though you've done all you could to look at this in such a way. I'm looking at it as, I'm feeling that you did all you could to try to look at the facts on the ground, but also the reality of this particular course. I'm feeling you
Right.
on that. If
Right.
I'm misfeeling you,
We've looked at cost, sales,
Yeah.
income, everything.
yeah, it seems like you really, really put your heart into trying to figure something out for this course. That's why I astutely heard when you used the phraseology of you just couldn't get there. That signified trying. And so now I'm trying. Now I'm trying to look at this with the background of why they're not, how can they not be successful? And sometimes it is what it is, or use a new word, is it being mismanaged or not advertised, not hyped, not, not just talked about in such a way as the others? Because if it's such a boom, then we got there's a reason why they're not booming.
The pandemic resurrected golf because that's the only thing you could do.
Yep.
So a lot more people, they had lost interest. Tiger Woods made golf great and people were all in, and then after he was gone, then, it kind of dropped. Even though I'm not a golfer, I do, follow it a little bit. But,
Yes, sir.
but yes, the pandemic it really resurrected the sport, and it's just continuing to go. And now things like Top Golf are super, and that's also another thing that has really come on the scene, and those sell for a lot more than golf courses.
Wow.
A lot more.
Oh, they're easier,
Mhm.
yeah.
I mean, it just follows the economy. I mean, in a strong economy, golf does well.
Well,
You-
we
you
have a
let
lot
thing-
more-
You let things slide some.
Some of the other
Yeah,
information
yeah,
that I had
yeah.
pulled is that there are a lot more minorities and women that are playing golf now
Right.
than ever before.
Oh, I agree.
Huge increase
Yeah.
in that, so
Well,
that's kind of where we are with it.
well, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I've had invigorating conversation, because I remember that day very well, because I was keeping score.
Okay. Did we get it, Mr. Smith?
I just have one more question. What was the previous value on this one?
From the PTC
Yeah.
level,
Yeah, the previous,
3.9 million. Mhm.
and I think I did, maybe I did or didn't do it right, but. Yeah, I did it right. You had a cap rate calculation that put you at 5.9, right?
9.5.
9 point, I thought you said 5.9.
No, it was
9.5.
anywhere from 7 to 12% is what I could find.
Yeah.
Like I said, we haven't done a full cap rate study or anything, it's just what I
Okay,
could glean off of the internet. that I
for
could-
some reason, I thought you said it was 5.9.
No, it was 9.5.
Joe, I
Because
think there's,
The reason I was saying that, if I looked at the previous value and put a 50% increase on it, it came out to 5.9. That was, I didn't know if that was pure coincidence or not, but I thought that was the number.
the cap rate you used was 9.5. The value,
The value you came.
The value, yeah.
Was 5.9.
5.9, 5 million,
Which is a
950.
50% increase over the previous value. Just saying, it may be coincidence.
Right, right. Okay.
And this is, golf courses, I'll just say this, I'm an ex-golfer, I played until everything fell apart and I can't play anymore. That there is real difference between, let's say, a Firethorn, the top quality courses and the middle of the road, and this one, and there's several others that are non-membership courses.
Yeah, semi-private, yeah,
They're
yeah,
semi-private to just totally public.
yeah.
And there's differences in them versus the private or the semi-private courses when it comes to the quality of the courses
Yeah.
and the upkeep and everything else. So I just make that comment. This is, a yeoman's course is
Yeah.
the way I put it.
Yeah, and from what I
It's
remember.
an affordable course.
Yeah, and it's fairly nice. I mean,
Yeah.
from what I remember, I hadn't been out there recently, but there's a lot of rooftops around this one too.
Yeah.
And
And if it fails, it's a huge problem.
the only thing I'll say in the taxpayers' defense to it, the increase is, it's a good increase
Yeah.
in value. And, I still just feel like the county, it's good now because the economy's good, but I feel like the county is just saturated with golf courses. I
Yeah.
mean, back in the day when there were only two, back in the early
And
nineties,
this is an
there's
old
golf courses all over this county now.
This is an old one.
Yeah, it's been here a long time.
Been there a long
Yeah,
time.
yeah, but, okay. Mr. O'Keefe, you like your studying over there, okay? All right, everybody good?
I'm good, Mr.
Thank you, Mr.
Chairman.
Hunter.
All right, hearing number 7 is for property key number 0936600490. The taxpayer is Charlotte Pipe and Foundry. They are not present today. Hearing number 8. This is for property key number 08060016.
Excuse me, they wanted their information heard.
I am so sorry, Mr. Hunter.
That's what I
We'll-
thought, I was flipping through, okay.
I am clearly ready to go, I guess, so I'm
Yeah.
sorry about that. My apologies, we will back up and let Mr. Hunter present their information.
Okay.
Then we'll move on.
This probably
We're
won't
good.
take very long here.
Yeah.
This is, we have an 80-90 account, which means that the 80 is inside city limits, and 90 is outside. This is Charlotte Pipe and Foundry. Everybody knows where that is on Old Charlotte Highway. This is the portion of the property that doesn't really house very many buildings. It's more just paving and some metal structures that we have on there. In fact, it's 347,700 square feet of heavy-duty paving, 36,000 square feet of asphalt, 2,134 linear feet of fence, 470 linear feet of railroad spur, 2 metal buildings, 16,200 square feet each, built in 1995. And I think what the appellant, what they're complaining about was the increase that we had in the property. I believe their information, it should be toward the end of your packet on 29, page 29. And it is just several pages that they have provided.
So they kind of broke it down in what was usable land, in their opinion, what was usable land and what was unusable.
Right. Yeah, we have, for lakes and ponds, on industrial properties like this, we don't normally give off any type of others, say maybe for a quarry, like over here. But we also have, see if this thing will work right.
So I imagine that's just a big retention pond?
Yes, it's just a retention pond, and we don't normally give off because they're a necessary thing to have. We've got the property adjacent to us. Let me get my numbers here. Yeah. All right, the way that I get this thing to cooperate, there we go. The way that, and we have given, we basically site rate it. So it's like, if I get this to cooperate, it's like the front 5 acres we have as industrial good because it fronts on Old Charlotte Highway, has commercial potential, in fact. So, and then what we do is we take another portion, and we might call that average or fair, and I think in this case, we have called it fair and assigned a value to that. And then we take this part back over here. And to account for the pond and the location and the shape and everything, we call it poor. So it gets one of our lower ratings from site standpoint. One thing to also keep in mind is from a shape standpoint, is that they also own this piece here. So it's not like this is some other owner and this is the only thing they can do with it. They can, it's just like we don't give 25% off for access if you own a piece of property beside it. So what we did is we felt like we accounted for any type of adversity by placing at a poor site rating, which the good site rating on the front is at 100,000 an acre, fair is at 71,800, and a poor is at 53,000 an acre. So we feel like that we accounted for that. Overall, we're 66,986 an acre for 85.374 acres. The adjacent site, also owned by Charlotte Pipe Foundry, is 99 acres, and we have it appraised at $74,642 an acre because it has a lot more good frontage. Actually, it stops right along in here. But it would have a substantial amount more good rated property. So we're at 64 and some change acre on the subject, 74 an acre change for the other portion of the subject that's in the city limits of Monroe. We also, because of the size of the property, we only had one really pertinent sale. It's on page 23, and I've got a little map that goes along with it. And because of the commercial potential, I also just looked at, well, what are commercial properties going for in the area. But the main one is sale number one, and that was for the FedEx, and we saw FedEx was in here a couple of weeks ago. And that FedEx site was 85 acres, and it doesn't have any real commercial potential to it at all, and it sold for $66,986 an acre. And so that, $76,381 an acre for 75 acres. So it sold for more per acre, a little smaller, and so it's appraised, very similarly overall. And so we just didn't feel like we felt like they'd been treated fairly. The increase is, it's substantial. It probably was not appraised as it should have been in the prior, but it has been, given the site ratings as it should have been, and we also saw like a 70% increase on industrial property from the prior reval. So we felt like that they're being treated fairly. We're also looking at, I can show you another piece over here that, let's see. This thing worked for me. Let's see, let's do that again. This piece I'm trying to pull up, it's a very irregular shaped parcel, also industrial. It's 67.90 acres. It's $60,435 an acre. It has pond on it. Then you've got maybe it'll pull up for us at some point. And it's not doing that correctly. I apologize. We also have, we've got, and it probably won't populate it right, but we also have the old bore and clay. That's 261 acres, and it's full of ponds. And we got that on at 17 million, and that's 65,000 an acre. So I think we're more than fair on where we are.
Okay. Questions for the county? Mr. Benson?
No questions, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Mr. Smith?
The pond, is it a true retention pond, or was it a pond that was there before? Is it necessary?
Only the owner could tell you that.
Okay.
I really don't know.
Because it looks like there's a small one on the other end of the
Yeah, there's
building.
another really small one. Usually, I guess the size of the retention pond depends on what you're gonna put on the property, so I
Yeah.
don't know if it would, I know this piece, if they consider it, and I really don't know the restrictions, if it's, the parcel's split, if they would have to have one for each. I just don't know. I couldn't tell you.
Yeah. Retention ponds are always problematic on value. You have to have them to make the property
Right.
valuable. But of course, in this case, basically all the property, if it is a retention pond that's serving, is a different parcel. That's where you get into it, even though it's the same owner. So because you're given 50% off for that, correct? Roughly 50%?
Roughly, yes.
Yeah, okay, I'm sure that's part of their issue.
But like I say, all the ponds and surrounding, adjoining, we're not really, it all comes out in the wash,
Yeah.
from the size of the property.
And you have to have them, basically, if
It's a
retention
federal
ponds, you have to have
requirement,
them.
yep.
Yeah, you have to have them, so it goes into the overall, thing, and they're not appealing the big plant, I take it.
No, they're not.
So they probably thought that was pretty good.
Must have.
Must have. Okay.
Maybe I need to go take a look at it
Yeah,
again.
go look at that. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. O'Keefe? Okay. And so really, when it comes down to it, I mean, there wasn't anything provided to the county.
Not
By
other
the
than they
tax-
just didn't like it.
They just didn't like the
There
increase.
were no sales provided. It was just, they
Right.
just don't like it.
Okay. Understood. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman,
Oh,
is that their UDIS MO? That do they traditionally feel as though that they've been over-assessed?
They really haven't appealed a whole lot over the years. They had the one across, I think the building across the road, they didn't appeal that. That was a big addition, the one that used to be the school. I remember I worked in appeal for, I believe it's this property.
Right
That
at
was-
Airport
they-
Road, right?
Yeah, they appealed like in 2015, and I think we dealt with that, but no, I think we did a QA on this property and got all the buildings are as they should be, and we've actually, I think what they just didn't like was that it probably increased more than the other piece, because the other piece wasn't wrong. I think we were probably off on how it was treated, and now they're uniform. So we're bringing the other one up to be like this one now.
Okay.
Because there's really no reason, if the two are just split by a district, why would there be a whole lot of difference in the dollar per acre?
So this,
Other than, like I say, the 10,000 more an acre on the other piece is just because it's got a lot more frontage on, that portion of it has a lot more frontage on Old Charlotte than this one does. So that drives the value up a bit.
So I just want to make sure that, so they have not been a company that appealed.
They had, other than one time, like I say,
Just that one
best I
time.
can recall,
Okay. 2015
was the last time that they appealed.
Okay, thank you.
okay.
I have one more question.
Okay. Mr. Smith has a question.
The property to the left that looks like they own as well, you said?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of per acre value is that one given? I know it doesn't have the impairment, I don't
Yes.
think, but what is the value of that?
I believe that's 135,000 an acre on that.
Okay.
But hold on just a moment, I had written it. No, I'm sorry, that one's 78 an acre, it's 22.71 acres, and it's 78,000 an acre.
And this one's at,
This one's at 64.
and with all the deductions, it only goes down. I mean, what is the base for both of them? Are they comparable before the deductions? That would be my question.
What is the base?
The base price before you adjusted off the subject one. Is that property and this one starting at the same place and going down with the deduction? Because the other one doesn't seem to have any impairment to it. That's my sole equity question.
We don't really have a base. Like I say, I don't know how that one's divvied up. It should have, the line for good should run right by Old Charlotte, and it should be the same line that's drawn. So a base, like I say, we have,
Because you had a number, then you took this percent
Yeah,
off,
yeah.
this many acres, and this, and this.
right.
But you started with a number.
Yes, I don't know how that one's delineated, I did not look that up. But I can tell you, like I say, this property is 5 acres of it is good. And then you got 30 acres of it that's poor.
Now, I understand that.
yeah,
It just
right.
seems to me that they should have started that this property should have had a base value of this.
Mhm.
And then you're taking off for so many acres of this and so many acres to get down to the number. I'm
Right.
looking at the math going backwards.
One
from
other
the
thing,
starting point.
one other thing that you look at, when you get into size on industrial, you're talking about a mega site now. This is, when you're dealing with that type of property, you can't put the kind of building that you can put on one of this size, just like the FedEx. That's why you see that FedEx is up. You say, well, why in the world would it sell for that much per acre? Because that's more than what some of the smaller ones are selling for. And that's why, because of what you can place on that property. So that's another way that we look at things, but.
It just seems to me that you
Right.
have two adjoining pieces of property owned by the same people.
Mhm.
And I would have thought that the unadjusted value per acre should be similar.
Mhm.
That's my thinking. I may be wrong on that, but it seemed like they would be similar. Then you do your adjustments from there to get down to your number that's discounted.
Joe, isn't your, excuse me if I'm wrong, your good rate is the exact same rate for both parcels?
Yes.
Your average rate is
Yes.
the exact same rate?
Yeah.
Four rates, the exact same rate?
It's the same rates.
You're using the same rates?
Well, you're
just-
using the same starting number. That was my point.
You're using the same exact table, you just allocate it to different portions, different sizes within each parcel, because Adam has more road frontage on Shaw Highway. So you are going with the same rate per acre
Okay,
on those site rates.
on both of them.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that was my question.
Right.
Yeah, I'm just trying to
Yes, sir.
figure in my mind that, just, random number, let's say they all start at 100,000 an acre, then things get divvied down by size and percentages and stuff like that.
Actually,
That was my,
The way that's valued is we have a good site rating, rate per acre,
Yeah.
average rate per acre, and then it's the same
Yeah.
for both these parcels.
right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Clarifies that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. All right, everybody good?
Yep.
Okay. Mr. Hunter, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. Sorry. All right, now number 8. This is gonna be for property key number 06060016. This is, what I need you guys to do is go ahead and make a voting on this one. This was originally, held at the hearing on July 9th. And it was on the unsettled consent agenda, which would have been an addendum B that you guys had for that meeting date. So this is where the taxpayer just did not respond to the notice of value letter.
Right.
However, they did go ahead and mail in, and it was postmarked timely. So the tax office has agreed to go ahead and allow their appeal to the board. So we did come to an agreement with them, and that is gonna be on your addendum A for today. So all I need you guys to do is, if you want to strike that property key number from the addendum B that was previously presented to the board on July 9th, and allow us to go ahead and approve it today for hearing number 11, along with the addendum A, which is gonna
It
be.
needs
the
to be read, just like you've got beside the motion.
Yes.
Yeah. So we need somebody to read it, probably.
We do it now, not at the,
I need you to do it now because otherwise we can't vote on it when
Yeah,
it's
right.
part of number 11.
Right.
That's correct.
I'd like to make a motion.
To,
I'd like to make a motion to move the amendment to the consent agenda motion passed on July 9th, 2025 by striking out parcel number 06060016.
Second.
motion second, any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. So the motion is carried for that to be moved to staff recommendations.
Thank you. And then that would take us to hearing number 11, which is going to be your addendum A, which is going to be your settled cases. And then that would take us to the end of the agenda for today.
Okay?
Mr. Chairman. may I
Yes.
Comment back on hearing number 2, prior to deliberation. I would like to correct some information that county presented to y'all.
Okay,
Uh,
That's good, 'cause
and the
taxpayers here
yeah,
too,
the
yeah.
Taxpayers still here.
Right,
We
okay.
purchased it for benefit.
okay,
Did some research on that $330,000 purchase price.
right.
Pulled the deed up, just to clarify, and make sure everything was correct. That was actually a purchase of 5 lots. It probably included this house and 5 lots.
I think that's what she was trying to explain to
Yeah,
us
I
at the
think-
same time, okay.
Yeah, so I just want to clarify that.
Okay, so
for the
that,
board.
so that 330, okay.
Back
That was
then.
for that, as she described, big
It
thing.
was for 5 lots in total. It was for the, I think
In
the house.
2018,
In 2018,
Right.
that's correct.
okay,
Just want to clarify that for the board.
okay. Thank you, thank you. I think Ms. Gerlove understands what, okay, okay, good. Okay. All right, do we need a 5-minute recess, or, okay,
Yes.
so let's take a 5-minute recess, and then we'll come back.
maybe less than that.
Okay. Maybe less?
Maybe less.
Oh,
We're all, explain the question.
okay. Are we not?
Look at what it did now, Joe. Look on it.
Okay. All right, we'll go ahead and call the meeting back to order and roll into the deliberation phase of the hearing, so, Madam
All right.
Clerk?
We will start with hearing number 2. This was for property key number 07150001S. And this was for Ms. Gerlove, and she did present today.
Any comments? Heard the clarification from the county on the
Yeah,
sale.
I just have an issue that, I know they value it at unplatted, but if it was raw land, unplatted, it'd be one thing, but you've got an older house and not much condition that doesn't fit that area anymore. To get the 200 and whatever thousand land value out of it, you'd have to tear the house down.
Okay.
It's, you know, and I guarantee you that the lots in all the surrounding neighborhoods are not valued that high. I know from Potter Road
Yeah.
area, they're not.
Yeah.
I just have a
Right.
problem with that value. I have an idea.
Understood, okay.
I have an idea, but I'll let everybody.
Yeah,
else
I'd be
talk
interested,
Yeah.
I would be interested in hearing your idea.
Yeah, because I'm thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
It's all wrapped around $231,000
Yeah.
an acre.
Yeah.
first. And
That's actually,
I was looking at, God, I mean, the high, I can't even, I think that's even too high. I was thinking 300, but I thought that was too high.
Okay.
It just doesn't seem, I'd look at it at 280, because
I was
look at
like
the house
270, yeah.
value plus a reasonable number for the land being it's what it is, and I would make a motion to do value of $280,000.
Yeah, and the marketability of it, it's got to be affected by that that's on the front of Potter
Oh, the
Road.
code enforcement house?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have a motion, okay?
I'll second that, Mr. Chairman.
So we have a motion from Mr. Smith to reduce the total value from 246,600 to 280, correct? And a second from Mr. Benson. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. So the motion is carried,
I think that's the best we
yeah,
can do.
to reduce it from 346,600 to 280,000 for hearing number 2.
Thank you so much, thank you.
I think that's the best we could do.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you.
okay, you're welcome, okay, okay.
Hearing number 3 is for property key number 08321003B. This is for Kyra and Kent Gunn, and Mrs. Kyra Gunn was here and presented today.
this is that real crazy looking thing,
Yeah.
Yeah,
looks like an animal.
I reckon the only thing, it was, we're talking about small dollars here, but it was at 46,000 on the prior. That was the 2021 value, and it
Yeah.
goes from 46 to 97.
I got a number in mind,
Yeah, let's hear it, because I think you're with me.
65,000.
Yeah, I'm good with it. There's just not much at all.
No, this holds the earth together.
Yeah, and to me, I don't know if, you know, we can just take it down to that number, I would think, or do we apply an access issue to the
Access,
usable?
shade, more,
Yeah.
anything you can do
However the
more.
county wants to get there, is that?
Easement through the property to get to the house behind it. I mean, you name it, it cuts it
What's that value again?
65.
Yeah. So I have a motion from Mr. Smith to reduce it from 97.4 to 65,000. Do I have a second? I have a second from Mr. O'Keefe. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. So the motion is carried to reduce the value from 97.4 to 65 for hearing number 3.
Hearing number 4, we heard hearing number 4, 5, and 6 altogether. So this was all for Tournament Drive Investors LLC. The property key numbers were K83120001E80, K83120001E90, and B83120001E.
This is a golf course that's having a hard time, and it's got incredibly high expected expense ratio.
They're making money.
They're
They're
making money.
making money, so,
Not going broke tomorrow.
yeah.
I think,
I think the main thing is that the taxpayer wasn't here to give us really any, we got the financial information, which we did
Which is
want to
what we
see.
asked him for.
We asked for it.
Yeah, but Mr. Chairman, I remember this case distinctly, so the presentation that the representative for the taxpayers, I guess we could say, gave is still in my mind, from that perspective. And, you know, we,
I mean,
yeah, just to make that point.
and to me, it kind of, it's totally different type of business and industry, but I mean, the situation mirrors the one for Charlotte Plastics.
Charlotte
Yeah,
Pipe, I mean.
yeah, Charlotte Pipe, I mean, granted, the values went up drastically, and I'd kind of be sympathetic on that part, but,
I mean, the only case you could make would be to use the income cap rate approach, and you get to that 5, 8, 9 range.
Yeah.
If you use their numbers at a actually lower expense ratio than, you know, than they provided.
Mhm.
But if you hit it, which also ends up being a 50% increase over the previous valuation, they seem
Right.
to line up.
yeah,
But that doesn't mean it's the right number.
yeah. And it's kind of on them to provide that to us, too, you know?
What's that?
It's kind of on them to provide that to us.
Well,
you
they
know.
provided the information.
Yeah,
And, you know, our request was them to provide the information to the county to look at and review.
Mm,
I
okay.
don't think if we said, come back and you present again,
right,
I didn't hear that part of it. I may be wrong. That was
Right.
a long meeting.
right. Well, they didn't, I don't think anything was really presented before.
Yeah. We said, if you provide, we will review.
Mm-hmm,
And he actually provided the real information, which honestly, I didn't think they were gonna do.
right. And I think they had before. I think
Yeah.
they had provided financial
But not
information in
full
the past.
information.
Right, right.
This was full information. I mean, do you put the cap, you know, use the income cap rate approach? Or do you, because every golf course is different. That's
Yeah.
the problem I run into.
Yeah,
It's the east side of the county,
it's the west side.
I mean,
Yeah,
excuse me,
yeah.
it's the west side of the
Yeah.
county, east side of Charlotte.
Right,
Well, we do,
I mean, it mirrors up real close with the other courses that
It
are
does.
very, with
It
Old,
does.
even though Old Sycamore, we only got 5 holes in the county, but it mirrors
Same
up.
value per hole, the same value per hole.
You got the divide that's very close
Yeah,
to
I
there
think
too.
you do.
you know.
If you run that roughly 400 a hole,
Yeah,
you know, you're gonna get to whatever.
because in addition, if I remember, the county can maybe correct me on this, this also includes the venue location,
Yeah,
the big new clubhouse there too. Okay,
it's not a
Yeah.
Firethorn clubhouse, but it's nice.
yeah,
It's decent.
right,
It's
right,
decent.
yeah, it's not, yeah,
It's adequate for what it is. It's reasonable for the course it's on,
yeah,
but you gotta mix it all together.
yeah.
Mr. Chairman,
They are between the two prices of the two nearest
Yeah,
ones.
this just all, yeah, it's very consistent.
Yeah.
And,
yeah. Mr. Chairman, I make a motion, we assess the taxpayer at $6 million.
okay, and that'd be for all 3.
All 3.
Right,
6.
yeah.
6 million for all 3 parcels? I'm sorry,
Right.
just to clarify?
Yes.
So to clarify, that would take it from approximately 7.2
To 6.
to
6.
6.
I'll
Okay.
second that. I'll second that. I think
So I
this
have a
is-
motion from Mr. Benchin, a second from Mr. Smith. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. So the motion is carried to reduce the cumulative number of hearing 4, 5, and 6 from approximately 7.2 million to 6 million.
Mr.
Okay.
Chairman?
Yes.
Would it be the pleasure of the board to take and find that percentage and allocate it to each parcel?
Yes, that'll be fine, yeah. Okay.
One second. All right, that'll take us to hearing number 7. This was for property key number 09-366-00490. This was for Charlotte Pipe and Foundry. They were not present, but Mr. Hunter did present their information to the board today on their behalf.
I think the county did a pretty good job of
Yeah.
divvying this one up.
Right.
I couldn't find any fault with it.
Yeah. Okay. I tend to agree. I mean, so
Like
with,
all of them, it's something
so
else.
with that, I got a motion coming, so,
Making a motion that we accept the county's valuation of $7,420,900.
so we have a
Second.
motion from Mr. O'Keefe, a second from Mr. Smith. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. So the motion is carried for the current value of $7,420,900 to remain on hearing 7.
Hearing number 9 was for a personal property appeal requesting to waive the late list penalty. This was for property key number 406948, and the taxpayer was Advanced Digital Textiles, and they were not present today.
Y'all remember typically how we treat these. Okay, I just wanted to make sure I understood it right, so I was, that unless, typically, we can
This one
do
had an
different.
accounting issue.
Yeah,
They-
that if it basically, if it wasn't a very small business, mom and pop business, that typically we don't waive these,
I know.
is what's been done in the past. Yeah, if they have a CFO in-house and
I don't know how big this
accountants.
operation
and-
is.
Yeah,
Do you know this operation?
I think
I don't.
both of them are
Or
pretty
sizable?
good size, I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, nothing like Charlotte Plastics now or anything, not that
Yeah.
size.
But if they found it through an audit.
We found it through the audit.
The county found it through the audit.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They weren't hiding anything. Why wouldn't their own audit pick it up? Or they just weren't auditing, or
Can the
who knows?
county speak to that in any?
I can't speak to their internal audit practices. It's hard to speculate as to why it wasn't or wasn't picked up prior to. I'm not familiar with the business. What I do know is that our audit company requests all their asset listings and compares to what they have filed with the county for the 5 years that we look back.
Yeah.
And they pick up any discrepancies there. It can be small items. We have some businesses where there's very little discovered. We have some where we have significant discoveries.
But this is an audit that's generated by the county is just, it
To
wasn't,
ensure compliance,
they weren't doing their own internal audit.
right, this is triggered by the county.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's,
As part of our BPP audit program.
got it.
And if I remember right, Ms. Harrison said, I think there was, on this one, there was equipment coming in, some disposed and,
Yeah.
and that kind of thing, and, you know,
Do,
but typically, that's what we've
The other
done.
one I don't have much sympathy for. This one I have a little for, but I'm not sure I can get there.
Yeah. I just kind of wanted to make sure we were all on the same page on what we've typically done in the past.
Yeah,
And
I know.
I even had to
Yeah,
go back and
usually
check
it is
that
the
too.
little mom and pops, that
But,
don't do it.
Yeah, I mean, the ones I remember when it was granted, it was like a husband, wife, and 2 employees, something like that. you
Small
know.
operations.
yeah, but do we want to have a mantra where we have a typical, or do we want to have a mantra where we look at and evaluate? Because otherwise, there would be no need for evaluation if we just typically just kind of rubber stamp these things. It would take away the presentation from the petitioner and I know they weren't specifically here, but it would take that that away, it would be almost like no need to petition
Yeah.
because it's gonna get denied.
Yeah.
I'm just, from a general standpoint, I tend to like the case-by-case evaluation of these things.
And then the other side of it could be,
And if it winds up being the same, that's one thing.
yeah,
But at least we,
I have a hard time saying that
we did
a
it for one and
company, a
didn't do it.
company, when it goes through and does their financial statements, and that you're supposed to report your, at least the gross number of your equipment, you know, it should be, somebody's gotta do it.
And I reckon the way I look at some of that from the entry standpoints on
Yeah.
buying and selling equipment, you know, with your CFO person, that's kind of a general
That's basic
routine.
blocking and tackling.
Right, right.
Because you gotta
Good.
run your
Well,
depreciation schedules and everything
yeah,
else off of
yeah,
that.
yeah.
And then it flows into your financial statement and income
And you know you want to make sure that you get that new equipment
on the books,
Right,
so you
And-
can depreciate it.
yeah.
and so basically what we have here is a situation where the county, in their due diligence, did an audit and found this. Otherwise, it would have never been
Been caught.
bought up.
Yeah, the numbers didn't match up.
Yeah.
I'm-
And I think Ms. Harrison even said there wasn't any ill intent there.
Yeah.
Well, and I asked that,
Yeah.
and I asked that
Yeah.
question, you
Yeah.
see what I'm saying?
I don't think there is on either one of these, but.
No, I don't think there's any ill intent at
Yeah,
all.
yeah.
And then, but then it comes down to precedent. Do you enforce your late penalties unless there's extenuating circumstances? Is there extenuating circumstances or not? I believe in extenuating circumstances. I have to be convinced there are some.
Mhm, mhm. Part of this one is they were transitioning into new accounting software, but still, we're going from 2020 to 2025.
Yeah,
It's
you're going
5 years.
years,
Yeah,
years.
to maybe understand if it was a year.
Yeah.
If anything, you think they would be ultra diligent with new software.
They should be,
Really should.
they should
Yeah.
get it straight.
You should be doubling.
Right.
I don't know, just.
So what's the pleasure of the board?
I make a motion, we deny.
Okay, so I have a motion that from Mr. Smith, that the late list penalty on hearing number 9 not be waived.
Not be waived.
Okay, so do I have a second?
I'll second
Have a second from Mr. Benchin. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. So the motion is carried for the late list penalties not to be waived for hearing number 9.
And I have less sympathy for this one.
Yeah.
All right, hearing number 10 was also for a request to waive the late list penalty on a business personal property. This was for property key number 606123. The taxpayer was Carolina Construction Equipment LLC, and they were not present today.
I just didn't see the,
On hard times is not an excuse.
yeah.
And I don't know why a construction company right here is on hard times.
Yeah.
Everybody's building everything you do.
And that just addresses 1 year,
Yeah,
that piece, I mean.
yeah, this is.
Yeah.
it. No, I thought this one was multiple years.
No, but I
Yeah,
mean, his.
Their
his-
excuses
their
for 1
excuse,
year.
Oh,
Because they were basing it more on the tariffs and that
Yeah.
kind of thing. That's just this year.
I have no sympathy.
Okay, so what's the pleasure of the board here?
I'll make a motion that we not allow the waive the late penalty.
Okay, so I have a motion from Mr. Smith not to grant the request to waive the late list penalty. And do I have a second?
Second?
Second from Mr. O'Keefe. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. So the motion is carried not to waive the late list penalties for hearing number 10.
All right, and then hearing number 11 is going to be the staff recommendations, which is going to be your addendum A.
Yep, I make a motion, we accept amendment A, staff recommendations as settled.
Second.
I have a motion from Mr. Smith, was a second from Mr. O'Keefe. And any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those like sign, so the motion is carried to accept the staff recommendations as presented.
And that takes us to the end of our agenda today, gentlemen. I'll entertain a motion to
Make a
adjourn.
motion to
Have a
adjourn.
motion to adjourn. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned. So we can get Belma to cut us off here.